I'd penalise Canterbury for that.
That'd be the best thing you could do.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's what's happened all night.
This is it up. Okay, it's on report. Leading with the lead. Yeah.
Penalty to the Chooks.
Penalty to the Roosters.
Penalty to the Roosters.
Frankie, get back!
And Frank Paul Nuasala wanted to go on with it again.
He's willing. Well,
yeah, he's been. He was half time waiting for Ennis. Something has made him cranky that first half.
Well, he's been at it all night.
Yep.
Here it is. Wait for it.
And finally, Langy's out there. Well, he's going to get a match payment, Warren.
Yeah, well, sometimes you've got players on the bench for reasons of coverage for certain things, and if a game's hanging in the balance, you don't see those guys come on. The coach can't get them into the game, but the game's certainly not hanging in the balance anymore.
32 points to 12 in favour of the Roosters as quickly the ball goes to the right side of the field to Kenny-Dowall. Kenny-Dowall stops and then comes back against the grain and he's put down about 41, 42 metres out. 10 in from touch, ball played, comes to Tavasa Sheck and away it goes to Williams, and Williams has a crack on his own, got his right arm free again, but no one there to pass it to that time. Friend out of dummy half, darts across field, gives it to Pearce. Pearce gets it away, and Langy, he knocks the ball on. Sat on the bench for 76 minutes.
Well, he got hit with a hard one. You catch them. Should have caught that.
Well, the Bulldogs have just got back Laffey as well, so he's back from his 10 in the bin.
Sean Kenny's played well tonight too. He scored a great try off Sonnyville. Sonnyville gave it to him, and Sean Kenny also got a great one away from Minnie. There've been some very good players out there tonight in both sides. Yeah, Clemmer's been tireless. A little blemish in his game there with a funny-looking German goose step. He looked like it was marching for the for the Wehrmacht there.
Yeah, I think Ennis is coming off here.
Giving Hitler the high five.
And just Paul Nuasala has come off as well, so Trent Robinson's probably thought that he's had his night. He's come to the bench and people are trying to put their arm around him and he's just fuming, steaming at the moment.
I think Trent Robinson said, I'm not going to leave him out there for fair
exactly.
Something silly.
Correct, and he just had to go away from everyone and he's now just sat down with his teammates, but the applause is for Michael Ennis coming off here.
Now, Clemmer, is that a German name?
I don't know.
No. I just wonder. Well, it's the closest thing to a goose step I've seen since the Second World War.
Well, Ennis is coming off for the concussion rule, so Eastwood is on for him.
Now, we've got 3 minutes left on the clock, 32 points to 12. Perrett sends the ball wide, goes to Mbai, and they get the ball out a little bit wider to Canterbury. So they'll probably get two sets, Canterbury, unless they make a mistake. Laffey plays the ball, and Rennie Matua comes across field, straightens up, and he's hit by Napa. As another defender comes flying in, and then finally Langy comes in to lend assistance. Maria Hargreaves is the other defender. So he hasn't shirked the task, Warren, has he?
No,
you'd expect him to in a game like this.
Huge battle.
Ball played, they go back to the left side and Matua takes it ahead. Good run from Matua. He's up over the halfway, gets a pass away, it comes to Mbai. He floats across field, in turn he finds Clemmer. Clemmer takes it into the hit line and those long legs are stretched out and he's tackled about 35 metres out in the goal line. Jackson at dummy half. He comes to Stanley, in turn it goes to Mbai. Charging out of the line, Orbison lines him up and hits him with a good tackle. They're about 30 metres out on the goal line. Last play, up goes the kick from Chase Stanley. It's going to come down 10 metres out in the Roosters goal line and going high and taking the ball superbly over there was Tavasa Sheck, and he'll play the ball about 10 out in the goal line, 20 in from touch. Now comes Minicello. Minicello is going to be taken, or no he doesn't, he gets the pass away at the last moment, but the referee's called held, I think.
Well, that's funny because Sonnyville held the ball another 3 seconds longer than that and got away with passing it. It's funny.
Unless he'd actually called held in that case, Warren, but he didn't call held for Sonnyville.
No.
It was McDonald. What a night he'll have to remember, Warren. First grade debut. One of the first touches in the game that he had. He scored a try, and his team
played well.
And his team's had a good win. As the ball comes back to the right side of the field, and they take it ahead, and they're going to play the ball about 9 metres, 10 metres out in the goal line. I think the match review committee is going to be watching this tape for quite some time, Warren.
I think it'll be a study, absolute study.
Ball play, kicked downfield by Pearce. He kicked it into a player. The ball rebounds off one, picked up by another Rooster in the form of Friend. The referee said play on because he said that isn't 6 to go. A kick by Friend, not a bad one considering he'd run out of room on the left touchline, and it's gathered up by Perrett, who continues the ball to the left side of the field to Brown. And Brown, who's the Canterbury try scorer tonight, keeps it alive to Perrett, and Perrett takes it ahead, and Perrett tries to keep it alive. He does keep it alive, but gets it back to Mitch Brown. They might as well play with 2 players at the moment. They're the only 2 handling the ball. The ball comes back to the halfway, and now they take it ahead through Laffey. And Laffey is tackled, and he's tackled about 25 seconds to go in the game. He's tackled about 40 metres out in the goal line. Eastwood has a crack, and Eastwood almost gets to the 30-metre line, and he's tackled 12 metres in from touch. About 10 seconds to go in the game. The ball is fed to Tim Brown. On it goes to Clemmer. Clemmer strides ahead, but he's tackled 19 metres out. They've got one more play in the game if Clemmer gets up and plays it. The ball's played to Jackson. Jackson gets a long pass away to Mbai. Mbai puts a kick in. It's going to come down in the direction of Tavasashek. Tavasashek tries to put on some fancy footwork, and he's taken by the defence 12 metres out in the goal line. 12 metres in from touch, and the referee said that is it. And the Bulldogs have been beaten 32 points to 12, so their winning streak comes to an end. And it was a tough, hard battle, and it was a tough battle as these 2 sides really did go hammer and tongs, especially in the forwards, as you'd expect. As Warren said before the game, we expected to be tough, we expected to be hard. It was all of that. The 32 points to 12, I don't think really is a true reflection. I think Canterbury was better than being beaten by 20 points, Warren. I think that they were in the game, well, certainly in the second half when it got to 14-12.
I mean, and they've still been hard at it right at the final whistle. It's been a very honourable defeat if you can have such a beast. Tremendous effort poured into it by both sides. The Roosters, though, in the end, just a little bit too good. They've scored the tries that matter. And Sonny Bill, commanding figure out there today, or this evening, with scoring 2 brilliant individual tries and putting a pass on for Kenny-Dowall. Just an absolute pearl. And Kenny-Dowall came onto it outside in and just shredded it. And so I thought he was man of the match. But gee, there's been some very good performances all around him in the Roosters side. Tough performances in the forwards and great performance in the back. Blemish from Minnie that swung the momentum in the first half. But gee, all around that, for the entire game, Minicello has been a tireless performer for his side. There's no doubt about that. And the debut players tonight, well, I thought McDonald, he's on debut, isn't he? And,
McDonald was on debut.
I thought he was terrific. And
scored a try to start the game.
Second game for the halfback from Canterbury.
Sean Kenny-Dowall, I think, is going to be speaking with Shannon.
Moses Mabai. Go on, Shannon.
Yeah, certainly have. I thought we'd get one of the men that had an outstanding game today. Sean Kenny-Dowall joins us on ABC Grandstand. First of all, Sean, how tough was that tonight in terms of some of the battles you've played?
Yeah, no, it was very physical. It was great to see the boys going at it there in the middle. I was glad I was out on the edge there for a period of the game, but to the boys' character, we had a tough week last week, and they really showed some fight tonight, and they really come away with a real physical, tough win.
And it probably mirrored each other, really, didn't it, in terms of a slow start, and then you really just had to control them, letting them back into the game in the first half and the second half.
Yeah, that's right. But to the boys' credit, we stuck at it. We were a bit slow, but we ground away with some consecutive sets, and we played a bit of footy on them and come away with a good win.
Couple of boys missing for State of Origin duties. How nice was it to see some of the youngsters debut tonight for the Roosters?
Yeah, it was awesome. Young Nene out there has been playing outstanding in the under-20s, and he didn't look out of place here in first grade tonight, so it's good to see some young boys getting a start, and the future's bright here at the Roosters. Certainly
is. And just how tough was your week after that big loss against the Cowboys?
Yeah, no, it was tough, but we really wanted to concentrate on the way that the Roosters play, and I thought the boys really fought hard tonight and showed a lot of character after the week we had last week.
Congratulations getting on the try score. Thanks for talking to ABC Grandstand.
Thank you very much.
Sean Kenny-Dowall and Nene. Well, we were told it was Nene, so there we are.
That's McDonald, the winger.
McDonald, the winger. So
he scored the first try.
And Sean would probably know.
And gave a great resemblance to
Tupou.
To Daniel Tupou, yeah.
It was amazing.
Very much like him.
And gathered the ball down and did extremely well. As we looked at the 3-2 and 1, Warren.
Sonny Bill, I think he made the difference. Scored to himself and put a beautiful short pass on for Kenny-Dowall and troubled them all night with his offloads. And I thought he was worth three. And Vera Hargraves, for all the tough stuff in the middle, I thought he was tremendous for them. And we thought Ennis in a beaten side tonight. Never stopped trying.
Shannon's got Sammy Perrett, I think.
Yeah, certainly do. A very dejected Sammy Perrett, but he's kindly joined us. Sam, probably not a true reflection just how hard you tried tonight with that 20-point loss on the board.
Yeah, look, the boys worked really hard out there, and a couple of tough calls against us, I thought. Would have been lovely if they had gone back to the video and had a second look at it, but look, that's the way footy goes. Nothing's perfect, and just all credit to the boys hanging in there anyway.
It was one of those games that every time there was an error or a drop ball or a penalty, it sort of seemed that the other team pounced on it and scored. So it just moments where it must have been very frustrating or disappointing that you gave away something and they were able to pounce on it. Yeah,
absolutely. I thought the Roosters brought a lot of energy tonight, and we did our best to stick with them. But as the game went on, they just took advantage of all their opportunities, and we weren't able to create enough.
Bit of feeling in that game too. That was an extraordinary second half. Everyone settled in for that second half. You two teams don't disappoint.
No, it was another really good game, and I hope all the fans really enjoyed it, and I know that all the boys out there did. It was a tough battle, and all the boys afterwards when we were having a chat, those are the ones that you remember, the real tough ones. So hope everyone enjoyed it tonight.
Certainly did, but ends the winning streak. But you must be proud of, the forwards really stepping up with your halves missing tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They're our foundation. Those guys, they really do all the work for us. That's the engine room. They make sure that all the D's nice and solid, and that we got the go forward. So, it just wasn't our night tonight, and hopefully when we get our squad back and fix our mistakes, we'll be ready to roll again.
Appreciate your time. Thanks, Sam.
All right, thank you.
I can only conclude there that Sammy Perrett was talking about the 40-20 when he said, some decisions went against us.
And I said, why didn't they go back and look at it?
Yeah, there's a general belief amongst that Bulldog side that was a very, very hard call against them, and I'm of the same belief. I'm very sceptical about it. When we saw the one replay, there seemed to be bodies obscuring.
Oh, there's no doubt he had his foot on the line, Warren.
Yeah, well, I felt that in real, first time viewing it, but then when I saw it on replay, I didn't have the clear vision that I had.
That's why Laffey grabbed the ball. When it was thrown back in for the tap, Laffey grabbed it.
No, you didn't get a 40-20, yeah.
Because Laffey, I was certain, thought that it was going to be either a scrum feed or they were going to look at it.
So not only did they... Excuse me. Not only did they not go back and disallow that 40-20, they put a man in the bin as a result
because of a professional foul.
Yeah,
and I have
so it's a critical decision. That bumped the score up handsomely in favour of the Roosters.
And you wonder why they don't go back. I know that they could have taken the quick tap, played it out, scored the try. Yep, let's go and have a look at the 40-20 now. So they get all the advantages out of it. There's no try. We'll go back. It's a scrum feed here to Canterbury. There's nothing wrong with that. There's just nothing wrong with it. But instead, we go with mediocrity, and we continue with mediocrity. But in the end, it didn't really change the game. Although at the time,
I thought so. I thought it had a big impact on the game in that, in that sense that. Number one, they got a try out of it eventually, and number two, they shouldn't have even had the ball.
Well, the other thing is they kicked out on the full straight after that, Canterbury, Warren, so that they came back to halfway and they're on the attack again, and they had 13 on 12. Anyway, the 3 points tonight went to Sonny Bill Williams, 2 to Jared Warrior-Hargreaves, and we thought 1 point to Mick Ennis, although he could have given it to a host of the Doggies when they were down and out.
There were a lot of good players out there tonight in both sides. I thought there were some tremendous performances right across the board for both sides. Quite often when we watch a game of football, you look at sides and you think, well, gee, they didn't have anyone there that was worthy of giving points to, and one side was heavily loaded with good performance. But tonight, there were generally good performers, in both sides there, and that's very, very difficult. But it just certainly wasn't reflective of the battle out there. The 32-12 was very flattering, I thought, to the Roosters.
So in the end, 2 tries to Anthony Minicello, 2 to Sonny Bill Williams, 1 each to Nene McDonald and Sean Kenny-Dowall. We'll go with Sean's pronunciation. Maloney, 4 goals from 6 attempts. And for the Bulldogs, 2 tries to Mitch Brown and 2 goals from 3 attempts to Krisnan Inu. So the Roosters win 32 points to 12. In the early game, it was a win to the Roosters. They won that game 22 points to 12. And as we said earlier, wins tonight in the Rugby Union. The Sharks beat the Blues, and the Waratahs, big winners, 41 points to 19. scoring enough tries for a bonus point in a big victory over the Rebels in Melbourne. That's all we've got on Grandstand Rugby League tonight. Next, Tony Delroy.